My mustache doesn't want to cooperate today, but we're going to talk about the Glowy Truck. Let's get right into it.
Alright, Glowy Truck. Glow the truck up. Lots of work has gone into the Glowy Truck to make it what it is today. It has undergone a 3-inch lift. It has 33-inch tires, as well as a 2-inch body lift to fit the 33-inch tires better. The upper control arms have been replaced to help with the suspension lift. The front and back bumpers have been replaced with tube bumpers. The trunk has power outlets for any type of accessory that I might want. There's subwoofers, new head unit, amplifier, and of course underglow. And there's a few more features of the Glowy Truck that we will go over in a second. It started its life as a daily driver, and then it became an off-road rig, and then I started using it for festivals and started a theme camp based around it. And the reason we started a theme camp based around this was because it was very generic type of name, and there wasn't a big niche theme to it, so that we were kind of free to do whatever we want. So the first couple years we focused on building wooden dinosaurs, and in the future we're not going to be limited to that, where we can really take the camp wherever we want. So we kind of purposely made it very vague. When I was using it as an off-road rig, one of my favorite places to take it to was a trail called 5 Mile Pass, and there's a lot of really good obstacles all over that place. Due to the lift, the CV axles end up getting over-articulated and end up tearing their boots or getting broken, and I have definitely replaced both of the front CV axles on multiple occasions. The top half of the engine has been rebuilt, the valves have all been replaced, and one of the heads has been replaced when they both got removed because one of them had a little crack in it. The subwoofer box was a custom fiberglass build that fits into the fender, and it is made specifically for these two 6.5-inch subwoofers. I have done what's called the deck plate mod, where you get a deck plate and it's a airtight seal that can be placed on your airbox to give it more breathing room. The brush guard was actually not made for my vehicle, it was made for a Land Rover, and it was originally on a Land Rover that I found in a junkyard, and I did some measurements and found that it would fit pretty close to my 4Runner, so I got that, re-welded the brackets on it, and got it to fit. It's probably 2 inches too wide, but it's kind of nice in my opinion to have that extra a little bit of clearance. In the future I'm considering cutting it down so that it fits a little bit more snug, but at least for now I don't mind the extra gap. The rear bumper was made by a company called Midnight 4x4, and I will leave a link to their website down in the description, and they did a great job. I went there and explained to them that I would be using this for an off-road rig and that I was scared that somebody was going to rear end me and total my vehicle. So they made this really nice fortified bumper that I no longer have any fears of anybody rear-ended me and destroying my vehicle, because if somebody rear ends me, it's Not gonna destroy my vehicle. I installed a switch that's connected to a fan, which is mounted where the air pressure regulating vent is. So when my vehicle is normally moving down the freeway or something, and if I have like a front window open, air will exit out of this vent. But if I'm not moving, then it doesn't do anything. And I wanted to be able to exit any kind of hot air that I have out of this vent. Well, in a nutshell, I think that really goes over most of the stuff about the Glowy Truck. I'll probably do some sort of follow-up video later of anything that I might have forgotten or things that get added later, because it is an ongoing project and I don't think I'll ever be finished. But until then, there's not much more I can think about to talk about for the Glowy Truck. Oh, we didn't talk about the glowy part. Let's talk about the glowy part. So I opted for pod lights instead of what would typically be used is LED string lights, which is what looks like a string that's covered in a bunch of LED lights, and there's just a bunch of tiny ones. And the nice thing about those is they give you a nice dispersion of light. The nice thing about the pods is that they're very strong and hardy, where I've gone through 3 sets of the string lights over the years, where either the winters just made them fail, or the heat made them fail, or once I actually had it where my tire rubbed on them and ripped them out, and that caused them to fail, obviously. But the pod lights are very hardy and strong, and they're in a metal housing, so they're able to be stomped on or get wet or whatever, and it won't cause any kind of problems. Each one is like a small floodlight, so it projects out in any kind of RGB color that you want, and it's all controlled by a controller that's in the mess of wiring where my amp is, and each controller can house 8 different pod lights, and all the controllers can communicate to each other so that you can control all of them together, or you can set different zones and have different zones do different things. And I have 8 pods spread out through my wheel wells, so 2 pods in each wheel well. I have about 4 in the grill, about 3 in the back bumper, and the rest are spread out through the underneath as well as through the inside of the vehicle. I have them underneath the chairs and the also in the back to just help with the overall lighting of the inside of the vehicle. The light bar also has RGB backlighting to it, so it does change colors with the pod lighting colors. Um, but keep on keeping on, and till next time.